Hey everyone, Kevin here. What I'd like to do in this video is just talk about a few different stories that are related to smartphones, mainly related to Android phones. There's a couple of Android phones that have been in the news over the last few days, so I thought I'd just cover them all in one video. Now, the first one, the first story relates to the OnePlus phone. It refers to the OnePlus 5T. And I'll get to the top here. So this is a OnePlus 5T, and it is basically inside. It's just a OnePlus 5. The stock of the OnePlus 5 has been expired. They're pretty much running out of it. And the way that they operate over there is when it runs out, they move on to the next one, the new batch, and the next batch is the 5T. So underneath the hood, it'll be the same, but you can see here, they're kind of going for the edge-to-edge display, kind of like the Galaxy S8. It looks quite good. There was another news story today and they were talking about it, and there was more images about it. And here they're saying that because of the bezels being reduced, they're moving the fingerprint sensor to the back. Now, I think that this is actually a good move. I always preferred the fingerprint reader at the back of my Nexus 6P. I thought it was a more natural position. You know, if they get it right, you know, where they've got it in on the Nexus, I think they got it right there. On the Nexus, they had it, you know, right at the back, where your finger just went in a really good location. Whereas with the Samsung S8, they've got it away up next to the camera. It was a really bad position. So we'll be interested to see how that performs. You know, I guess it's going to perform the same way as the OnePlus 5, but it does look like a really interesting design. And the other big story this week, well, Google have scored quite a lot of own goals. So this is the Google Pixel 2 XL, and you know, Google have been messing up a lot actually with their hardware. There's a lot of burn-in issues with their LCD screens. Are they LCD? I'm not sure on it. Where is it? There it's there. Advanced Pole. It is an LED, but it's POLED. Yeah, they've had a lot of problems with them. Apparently LG designed the screens, and there's a lot of burn-in happening, and that's, you know, that's the kind of thing that you'll see a lot of people sending these phones back. Now, you need to remember, these phones are very expensive. You know, they're charging, you know, for the higher storage models close to $1,000. Very, very expensive. So there really is no excuse for this. So there's a lot of people reporting these problems, and it's very disappointing. There's actually some more problems as well. There's an article saying there's people making funny noises as well. I'm getting the impression, I don't know if they just rushed the whole thing or not. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if they've rushed it. I don't know what they've done. But it does seem that, you know, they've messed up in a few areas. There's another problem as well. In the recent big show where they announced the Pixel, they announced another few products. A lot of them, you know, like the Google Home speakers. It's a rival to Alexa and all that. And with those speakers, there was a Google Home Speaker Mini. I don't know if that's the exact term for it, but the speaker is like fabric and you could move your hand on it. And this was one of the best selling features of it. You could use it and just brush your finger across it, and you can, you know, change the controls, etc. But apparently it was so buggy, they had to completely deactivate that feature altogether. And it just makes you wonder, are they not spending time, you know, testing these things before they're rushing them out? I realize that companies, you know, they need to try and get products out and get them out fast, but it does seem a little bit short-sighted, because the problem with the screens, the problem with the mini speaker, etc., these are the kind of things that people will start sending them back, and before you know it, you know, rushing something out a couple of weeks earlier can cost them millions and millions of dollars. Now, the other news that I saw was about the Essential phone. There's a few stories, well, it's everywhere, that they've slashed the cost of the phone down from $699 to $499. Now, you might remember this was a phone that was kind of marketed just in the US, and they had the, you know, the cool 360-degree camera, and, you know, the two accessories. Now, it does look a good phone. It does look like a good phone. The big problem that I always had with this phone, I've not tested it, but, you know, looking at specs and all that, was that this was a company. Yes, it was being backed by a lot of people, being developed by a lot of important people, but this wasn't a big company. This wasn't a company with a track record, with distribution, with support. You were really taking a chance, and really, if you look at the way that OnePlus and Oppo and even Google, going back to the Nexus, when they entered the market, They went at a low price point and they tried to build up their user base, the experience, and then they, now Google Pixel started off with the Nexus range, was very cheap, and now it's very, very expensive. But they did that slowly. They didn't just arrive and, put out this expensive product. I think what Essential have done is they've thought that, with some cool marketing, and getting some influence by the right people, they could just push this phone out at $699. But it wasn't a $699 phone. It certainly wasn't. I would have went with the OnePlus before the Essential, and they've dropped it down to the price of the OnePlus of $499. So I think, I think at the time it was obvious that they had overpriced the phone. Whether this is a smart decision by them, it is a smart decision, but whether this was their decision or whether they're being forced to, I suspect they're being forced to simply because people aren't buying the phone. And it's a stark reminder that the smartphone market is very competitive. And I think, I don't know, it comes across like a touch of arrogance almost, that they priced their phone so highly without actually backing it up with a phone that could deliver. It did have some interesting features, but yeah. So I'll link to these stories and you guys can check them out. And please let me know what you think about it. And please do check out my channel. I'm testing the Elgato. I just need to get the recording set up better, and then I can, test some gaming for all you guys. Just a little problem now, the audio isn't syncing correctly. I will fix that. Thanks for watching, guys. I do appreciate it, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care.